guys, welcome back to Jerseyfam. Today we're gonna make Mickey Mousse domes. These are available at Chef Mickey's in the Contemporary Resort. They're delicious and let's get started. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1 packet of unflavored gelatin and we're gonna bloom it in 1/4 cup of water. This water should be cold, not hot. I'm gonna put it in there and kind of. Blooming is basically just a way to make sure that the gelatin stays smooth when we add it to another liquid. Stir it up. We're gonna let that sit for 3 to 5 minutes. Now we're gonna go over to the stove and we're going to take, we're going to take 3/4 cup of cream and we're gonna heat it on the stove. Ready? So we're just gonna pour our cream and we're gonna heat it up a little bit. Don't put it too high because then the cream will burn. So while this is heating up, I'm gonna put it on medium-low. While this is heating up, we're gonna go back over and we're gonna start mixing up our egg yolks. This is kind of a fast process, so. Okay, now we need 4 egg yolks. So we're gonna separate our eggs. You can use the method that I used in my previous video to separate eggs. That would be the cruise souffle video. If you want to go ahead and check that out, feel free. Because that was really good, wasn't it?
It was delicious.
It was great. 4 egg yolks. I'm getting egg all over the place. It's always good to separate your eggs in a smaller cup so that way if you get shells, you can take them out easier. So we're gonna add our 4 egg yolks to a metal bowl. Make sure it's metal because it needs to be able to handle heat. And we're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. And a pinch of salt. For a pinch, I usually just like to open up my hand. It's about that much. Okay. And we're gonna whisk them all together. We don't have to go crazy, that's fine. Now you can see our gelatin is bloomed. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like, you know what this reminds me of? Like the inside of a diaper. Oh, yummy. When it soaks up all the pee, that's exactly what it looks like. That's gross. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it looks like.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So I have our hot cream here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the hot cream, add the gelatin to the hot cream and whisk it up. Get a spoon. This is gonna need a little bit of heat in order to. I'm just checking for lumps. Looks like the gelatin was nice and smooth in there. So once it's all incorporated like this and there's no lumps from the gelatin, we're going to incorporate it into here, but we're gonna go slow. Just so we don't cook our eggs. Once everything is incorporated, it's gonna be like a pale yellow color. And you wanna make sure you look at the bottom and just make sure there's no like remnants of egg yolk, that it's all light yellow. Okay. So once we have everything mixed together, we're gonna come back over to the stove and we're gonna add our mixture right back into the saucepan. Now in the recipe, it says to cook this till it's 160 degrees. Basically what I want you to do is cook it until it's a custard. So if you keep this mixture moving, if you don't have a thermometer and you keep it moving, it'll turn thick almost like a pudding. So, you see how it's coming away from the sides of the pan? That's when we want to remove it, okay? Make sure it doesn't get... Come over here. I'm whisking it constantly because I don't want it to get clumpy. So, if you're scared of clumps, all you need... one of these babies. Right here, and you can actually push it through one of these and all the lumps will be gone, but I got it pretty smooth, so I'm not worried right now. Okay, so after we have this off the stove, we're gonna stir in our vanilla. That's gonna be 1 teaspoon. It doesn't say this in the recipe, but what I'm gonna do is transfer this to a bowl while I melt the chocolate and actually cover it with plastic wrap so it doesn't get skin. Because essentially this is like pudding, and if you leave it out for too long, it's gonna get hard on top and then it's gonna be chunky and gross. And we'll put the plastic wrap on top. You're gonna put it literally touching the custard on the top. And this prevents it from getting that thick skin. Make sure there's no air in there. Okay, and we're just gonna set it aside for now. Now we're gonna melt our chocolate. Okay, so we are gonna melt our chocolate over the stove. I'm using like the double boiler method. It's a saucepan with water inside, boiling, and then you put a metal bowl on top. But you gotta be careful because this bowl is gonna get hot. And we're gonna add 7 ounces of bittersweet chocolate to this. And what we're gonna do is just keep it moving until it's all melted. You don't want to leave this because if you leave it, it could burn on the bottom. Chocolate is nice and melted. Now this bowl is really hot, so do yourself a favor and don't use a metal spoon when you're stirring the chocolate. Use a rubber spatula. Let's go over here and finish this up. I'm going to uncover this custard and I'm going to incorporate the custard into the chocolate. Ouch, I forgot that that was hot. to hold this. All right. Make sure you whisk it all up until everything is incorporated. Quick tip about melting chocolate, don't let water get inside of it. So I know you're boiling it over a double boiler, but any type of water that touches chocolate after it's melted, your chocolate is gonna seize up right away and it'll just turn into hard chocolate and then you won't be able to do anything with it. So this is what it's gonna look like. It looks good already.
Smells good. Can I get on it?
Okay, fine. So we have this. We're gonna set it aside. Now we're gonna whip up the rest of our heavy cream. The easiest way for me to do this is in a mixer, but you can use a hand mixer too. Okay, we need 1 1/4 cups heavy cream. Put that right in our mixer. Or we can use our hand mixer, either one is fine. I'm gonna whip it up. Stiff peaks we want. Stiff peak. That's what it should look like. Coffee time. Okay. Now, as I've showed you in previous videos, when you're mixing whipped cream into something that's heavier, we want to only take a little bit and then kind of lighten it up and then add the rest. So we're gonna take a little bit of cream and we're gonna fold. And this may take a while, but it's worth it. Once we have our mixture all together, we're going to take a little pan like this. I found this at Michael's. Basically, you want it to be wide enough to fit an Oreo on top. We're going to spoon the mixture into these cups. I don't know what the easiest way to do this is, so I'm just kind of winging it at this point. I'm just kind of smoothing it out a little bit to make sure everything's nice and even. So once we have them all smoothed out, I mean, you can get fancy and clean off the edges if you want. I'm just, for the purposes of the video, I'm not going to do that. We're going to take good old Oreos And we're going to place an Oreo on top of each one. Just make sure you push it down just a little bit so that way it kind of sticks to the mousse underneath. Now, the instructions say to just let this set up. It didn't specifically say to put it in the fridge. So I'm not sure if with the gelatin that it's just gonna set at room temperature, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put mine in the fridge. You can do whichever one you would prefer, but I'm gonna let you know how it goes with the fridge method, and we'll be back.
I thought you weren't gonna clean the pan.
Yeah, well, I lied, because it's annoying me. Have these in the fridge. We've had these in the fridge for, what did you say, 30 minutes?
30 to 45 minutes.
We're gonna flip them. This is like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We did figure out that the mixture does set just like on the kitchen counter, so you don't even have to refrigerate them. But now the moment of truth. And I think this is gonna
Very carefully. Just pull it up and
ta-da! That looks great.
voila.
Let me try one. Kind of like wiggle it around a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. And it'll come right
There
up.
you go. All right.
Nice and a little bit of pressure, and boom, there we have another one. Just looks really good. This is after refrigeration. I mean,
I guess you could refrigerate them. You just gotta make sure that they come back to room temperature, you know? Like, before you try to take them out. But I think they'll be fine room temperature, honestly. Okay, let's try it. It's good. It tastes exactly like one of the contemporary. Want to try it?
absolutely. That's good.
Well, guys, I would keep these probably in the fridge once they're finished. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us. Let us know if you've had these before or if Chef Mickey's is your favorite restaurant, because I know it's one of our must-dos. Let us know your Disney countdown. Give us a subscribe if you want to see more, and give us a like to let us know you're here. Everybody have a good week. See you later. Bye.